Okay. Special edition episode, people, because we have to talk about the Super Bowl, and I need to talk about this in real time. I need to talk about the halftime show.
now.
I need to get it off my chest. It cannot wait. We cannot talk about this for our weekly episode now, baby. You're going to get this live reaction present day right now. It is the day after the Super Bowl, so it is Monday, February 10th, and we are covering this, okay? Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to try to keep our chaotic minds, because y'all know we scatterbrain, and we could be talking about the very last thing that happened and then go back to the first thing that happened and talk about some shit in the middle and then go back to the end. So we are going to try to keep this as organized as possible. We are going to talk about this in order.
Yes.
In order, okay? So yeah, there's going to be stopping, starting, because we gotta make sure we don't miss Nathaniel.
Literally.
Okay? Because there was a whole lot of shit of blackety blackness to get involved in.
Power to my people, our people.
Hello.
All right, so let's just get right into it.
It's kind of choppy. I don't know if the screen recording is picking it up that way.
What do you see now?
I see. It's kind of just on a little bit of a delay. Now I can see Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
I can hear it in real time, so it's fine.
Okay.
Let's just stop. Let's just stop right here, because having Samuel Jackson, the beloved Samuel. First of all, Black people, we got to say Samuel L. Jackson, because we just be like Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L.
Jackson. Having him as Uncle Sam.
It's so symbolic for so many reasons.
It should just went way over their heads. Like, no, he is there as Uncle Sam.
Yes.
So that already told me where we was going with this.
As soon as I heard him, I said,
oh, okay.
I know what the fuck going on here.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking about. They already laid the groundwork. Yeah. Uncle Sam is here.
And not only that, I feel like Samuel L. Jackson was the perfect person to do this job. One, because if you never seen Django, the D is supposed to be silent, but us niggas, we say Django. If you've never seen Django Unchained, okay, then you won't get it. But also, even in Uncle Sam's real life, he definitely has been a Black activist and Black revolutionist, like, literally his whole life, when he was in college, after college, all these different things. So he was the perfect uncle, Black uncle, to do this. And oh my God. Anyway, okay.
Yes.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah, I was already hyped.
Already. These niggas jumping in the car with these people.
I thought it was so good.
And they just keep coming. Oh my God.
Okay, so we just had to talk about that, because just the intro, everything is just like, I'm telling you where we're about to go.
Yeah. So if you don't want to see it be televised, turn the TV off now.
Turn it off.
What you about to be in for, it's going to be
thought you was coming,
what you bargained for.
What you thought you was coming here to get, this is not that.
Yes. And then aside from that, I am such a nerd. So, I looked up because I wanted to know how they got all them people to come out that car, right? So I found this lady. She does like all like the huge stage performance shows and designs.
They come out the stage. Set. They come out the floor.
Yes, but in my mind, I'm like, how did they gut the car and do that? Because I feel like I can see under the car, but you can't see under the car for it. So I was just so like, oh my God, that was just so cool to me.
Yeah, they coming up out the floor.
Yes, they is coming up out that floor. And even them, literally, as soon as they got a pinky toe out that stage, they're hyped. The energy is where it needs to be. Like, Kendrick, I'll save those thoughts for after we finish this, but 1 minute and 38 seconds in, and I'm just like, how do you not understand, as a Black person, how do you not understand what the fuck you're looking at right now? This has nothing to even do with being woke, but it's just like, just this imagery alone, the decision, I can't even talk because there's so many thoughts, the decision to do red, white, and blue coming out of an old Grand National, like, what? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just like, it's very, dare I say it, this is the continuations. This is the sister performance, or this is the brother performance to what we witnessed on Christmas. And they are very, that is the real work wife and work husband. Their messaging is very intentional. It is very clear. It is
two different perspectives.
Two different perspectives. One of them, it was like like a prideful show of being Black in America. And then the other one, this was kind of the more defiant role. Like, I'm Black in America.
I agree, but I also will say in general, I think that Beyonce's football performance for Christmas was more so of like the Southern Black American experience and pride, and Kendrick's is more so of like the West Coast experience and pride. And then it made me think, like, who on the East Coast do we have that would exude this type of energy? And I can't think of one artist that would be able to represent that from the East Coast perspective. Can you think of one?
The only artist that could do it is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I think the only artist that could do it and the only artist that would do it.
Right.
I think that that's really the difference, is the East Coast is missing their staple person that is truly just like, I don't give a fuck. This is what I stand on. This is what I believe in. And I'm going to be able to put it out. And not only be able to put it out, I'm going to be able to artistically put it out. You will be entertained, but I'm thoroughly going to get my message across, and it won't be missed.
Right.
It's going to be subtle. It's going to be very in your face. And I don't think that they have anybody really, especially now, that is active to do that. No. I don't think it exists.
I agree. So I think I would love to see Kendrick and Beyonce do more together. We have gotten a lot from them, but a tour or a huge, like, let's say, for example, right? And I don't want to get off topic.
That would be a tour I would pay.
I will spend them dollars. I mean, I will spend them. I'm gonna spend them Cowboy Carter dollars. But
tomorrow, my shit's getting gone.
Okay, but I would pay, even if Beyonce was to do this residency, right? Because whatever. And she did a show with Kendrick, and it would be a love letter and appreciation of Black American culture. I think that would be so big and so amazing for the community. But let's not get off on a tangent. It's not going to turn into the Beyonce Cowboy Carter whatever, because we just love the queen so much. But and before I move on, I will also say that I pride myself in not being a part of the Beehive, but the more and more intellectual music and art that Beyonce puts out, the more and more it's like undeniable. Like, I don't identify as being in the Beehive, but I'm Beehive adjacent. You know what I mean?
No, I'm fully enthralled. I am.
We know.
Deep in there.
deep in the roots of the Beehive. Anyway, okay. Sorry, really quick. I just want to say that before, I know we talked about like not liking men wear bell bottoms and wide leg pants, but Kendrick ate that up. Look at them thighs. Look at that.
He ate that up because he's little. This is a little man's outfit.
So 6 foot and above can't do that?
No, bitch. Hell no. I do not want to. I don't want to see it. I don't want to like
the niggas. Think about the niggas in the 70s. They want some fine, sexy men. You don't think that they could pull off the bell bottoms again?
No, not today. No.
We're going to see, because it's coming back
I don't
around.
think the only people that it looks good on are the smaller people. Pharrell, I think, had on these same pants. They look good on Pharrell because he's smaller. Everybody can't. I don't want to see no nigga 2 Chainz height with no bell bottoms on. I don't want to see it.
Okay, maybe not a 6'5" nigga, but
like I don't want to see that shit.
No. I don't know.
No, ma'am.
We're going to have to disagree on this one. I feel like if they brought back the men's 70s fashion and like...
So it's going to be... This is the 5'10" and under category. If you 5'10" and under, baby, this is for you. Everybody above, step aside.
I don't know. I feel like if you tall and skinny, then absolutely fucking not. You're going to be drowning in those pants. But if you got a little, little thickness to you or something, like... I don't know. I feel like you could do it. And then also, when I saw him have that lowercase a on his neck, I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Bitch, A minor? What the
But it took
me a minute to catch on to that. I'm like,
I think it's a double thing, but it's also because he has on a PG Lang jacket that also goes with PG Lang.
Okay.
So
true. So it could be
it's double meaning. It's definitely double meaning. It was nothing here was not intentional. Everything was very purposeful. Everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And playing squabble up.
What yeah.
Like he already let you know what you came here to do. Because I came here to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I came here to kill. So which I want to do.
This bitch.
Hello. We not coming peacefully.
Yeah, no.
Like, yes, give us your Malcolm X energy. We are coming to fucking fight.
Mm-hmm. Everybody get the get. All right. I love his ad-libs. I'm sorry, really quick. Every time I see them coming down them steps, I literally clench my pearls. I'm like, bitch, you better not trip. You better not fall.
Listen.
You remember when Beyonce fell down them steps?
Yes. When I tell you, I think about that shit often. I think about that shit often. Every single time she does any performance with stairs, I be like, oh my God, remember that time Beyonce
in that damn trench coat, bitch.
That shit is the core fucking memory. Like, I've been
literally. And for me, I'm so dumb that like I think about scenarios like, oh my God, if I was to fall down the steps or if I was to fall
how would I recover?
Yes,
like, can I somersault down these bitches? Or am I just gonna like be laid out like a starfish at the end? Like,
imagine you the first one up in line and you tumble down them goddamn steps. Anyway, okay. Do you have any commentary before I play?
Well, I can save that for my overall wrap up because we're about to get into the next part that I was just like, so go ahead. Okay, let's talk about this because I think that messaging was very intentional and is more intentionality and more of it being very purposeful because we as Black people are often told we too loud, we too ghetto, like all the shit that we're doing is so bad. It's like they condemn it right before they try to come and fucking take it. And he's saying it there very much clear as day. You don't know how to play the game. And it's very much kind of us being told sit down and shut up and having Uncle Sam be the person to say that you are delivering the message that we as Black people should pretty much take what we're allowed to have and sit down, be quiet and shut the fuck up. And this is very intentional. Like, no, we done sitting down. We not taking no shit.
Because I also think that a lot of times, a lot of our Black entertainers think that the only way to be successful or the only way to get ahead is to play by their game, meaning do what as you say or do as they say. And obviously Kendrick, and even so much to Jay-Z, because obviously people are going to be like, oh, wow, Jay-Z allowed Kendrick to do this performance and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That should tell you where he stands and as well, or anybody connected to them. I feel like you see what the fuck is going on. We don't always have to be told. Use that brain that we have. And I think a lot of people in general refuse to use their brains.
Like, oh yeah, for sure. And I think that that's more of what this is about. It's like, no, get up. This is a stand up moment and do what you came to do. I've been saying I'm part of the 92%, babes. We need everybody else to get on board with that and read between the lines. It's not even really no reading between the lines. It's very fucking clear.
Very crystal clear.
It's very crystal clear. And at this point, if you choose to not understand it, it is very much that. It is a choice.
Yeah. And even this imagery right here, like, yes, this is the American flag, but this shows how our country, because we belong here.
We built this. Our country, the country that we built.
On our backs, our ancestors' backs, period, right here. Like,
hello? And it gets no clearer than this.
Yeah.
Black culture is American culture. This is our shit. And it's just continuously taking it and putting it in their faces. Like, you want us to sit down and shut up, but you want to do everything that we did. Also, you want to have everything that we have.
Not to mention any white person or anyone that's complaining about the choices for, let me say, the white people that have complained about the choices for halftime performers, right? Do your history, because I also learned recently that it wasn't until In Living Color that we had any actual halftime performances of these big artists, which were typically Black artists that they won too, to be honest. We didn't have that until In Living Color came and kind of disrupted their system. Before that, the halftime performance was very boring, very lackluster. I think they had the Peanuts from Charlie Brown and like they did a Disney something on the field, whatever. But one year when In Living Color, they were syndicated by Fox. And I think at that time, Fox they weren't sharing the responsibility of hosting the Super Bowl or whatever the technicality is. So In Living Color was on Fox. And during that halftime performance, people would change the channel. They changed to In Living Color and they gave you 13 solid minutes of comedy, Black culture, and all these different things. And because the ratings for that went up so much, that's when the NFL decided to rebrand the halftime performance because they were losing those ratings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
again, thank us again. Thank you. Like, we did that as well. Like, this is our shit. You need us. We don't need you. And clearly that has been the message, and it's still the message right now. That's why all of the last, year 5 or 6 of performances, it's like, yeah, you're not getting no country artists. Move. This is our time.
Move along.
We don't want that. Goodbye.
I know you fucking lying.
Not a goddamn ad.
Like, I'm holding my breath, bitch. Fuck. I don't think
Okay.
Let me go ahead and breathe. Hold on. Let me get my breath in, because you know how I breathe. I'm a loud breather, so I don't want to miss anything. I want to hear everything, so I just stop breathing. I'll be like, bitch, hurry up and breathe.
Peak has been around the song selection. The first time when I watched it live, I was one of the people like, the song selection could have been better. But as I have rewatched it, because I've rewatched it at least like 5 or 6 times. Yeah. And then I went through the actual song list, and coupling the song list with the actual visuals of the performance, the song selection actually makes very much sense. It goes with the narration of Samuel L. Jackson. It all makes sense. Being that the last thing that he said in his narration was basically, it's too loud, it's too ghetto, it's too much. Do you know how to fucking play the game? As in, go do what you're told to do. And him coming out with humble, no. No. Yeah. I'm not doing it. And now going into DNA, more of double tripling down. This is our shit. This shit is in us, not on us. This is ours. And I think that it just keeps continuing to speak to that. Yes, obviously we know that there are large shots, subtle shots at stemming around the entire Drake beef, but I think that the performance was much, 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 much bigger than that. But it still echoes the same message as, you can't just come in here, think you could pilfer and take our shit and then run off on it and act like you made that. Yeah. This is us. You had to come here to get this from us.
They always want the secret, the Krabby Patty sauce.
Exactly. No.
Yeah, like, you can't have it. I'm sorry. We've given enough.
Yeah, so the song selection actually does make very perfect sense when you look at the entire lineup of songs in context with the visuals and what the overall message of the performance was. It all makes sense, and it's like, this is actually the perfect song selection. I would have liked a little King Kunta in there, but
oh my god, King Kunta would have ate down, but
just a little sprinkle, just the beat, a little sprinkle. Yeah, but I understand.
I also feel like this performance also showed me that, like, hey, you're more of a Kendrick Lamar fan than you think. Because I always say I'm not really a fan. I do like some of his music, but I'm not a fan. But I'm like, wait a minute. I actually am a fan. I actually do know more of his music than I think that I know. Like, you know what I mean? And I also would like to add in there that this isn't his first Super Bowl performance. It's his first headlining one.
It's his first headlining performance.
We saw him perform with Dr. Dre, and not also, he's going on tour. He's not doing his whole discography on this show just to go on tour. No, I'm gonna give y'all a taste of the theatrics and what I can give the people. You come buy my tickets and you come see my discography and everything else that I got going on. Okay.
Yes, and I had to check that, because for the most part, when we watch Super Bowl performances, a lot of times they tend to have like legacy acts perform. Yeah. Never actively somebody who is, I'm actively in the market right now. I'm putting out albums. I'm going on tour right now. So no, I'm not doing a summation of my entire 30-year career. Right. Because Kendrick is not at the tail end of his career. When we had Usher, that was pretty much, this is, even with his residency, that is kind of like, this is his a culmination of my entire career. This is my legacy act. So when I get on stage, I'm going to start with My Way, and I got to sprinkle in 30 years worth of songs, because that's what the people want to come, because this is where I'm at in my career. I'm in the legacy act phase. Even with Rihanna, she's not actively making new music. So you need to get a culmination of everything. I'm not promoting or putting out any other music, but I think with Kendrick, being that he is going on tour, starting in April. So in 6 weeks, I'm going to be on tour. You want to see my shit? You could do it there. You wanted to see more of my shit? I gave you shit with the pop out with Amazon. within the last year, you have seen me perform. And like you said, going back to the LA Super Bowl, we got all right. We got more songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm capable of performing those songs. Yeah, I can get you out your seat. I can make you dance and sing a song, but this is the time we here to be serious. And I'm going to get my serious message across.
Yeah.
It's
Like
at the sacrifice of what the general public, because I don't think it's lost on him what the expectation would have been of the Super Bowl. And that's why it just makes it even better, because it's like, it's so fucking intentional. I know that people are going to say negative things like, oh, I didn't like the song collection. Oh, it was boring. It was this. But then it's just like, the message really wasn't for you. The message was for the people that's going to get it. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
And even in his interview, he did the press conference with Ebro and Nadeska for Apple, the Apple whatever that they do. And he basically said that this is about storytelling and getting a message out there. It's not about what Kendrick Lamar songs we love. It ain't about that. Right. And I think even to that argument, it's like, Black people, sometimes, yes, we're going to be entertained, but sometimes it's important to just receive the message that's been given. We don't always have to be shucking and jiving all the time. Okay.
Yeah. Like, we don't have to, we don't got to do all of that. And I think that this was the time. I think in the current political climate, it's kind of like, we have to continuously put out the message out there and force this on people that y'all need to wait. Those who ain't paying attention, your eyes not open, you need to open your fucking eyes and pay attention and see what's going on all around. We could talk about that a little bit separately, because I've been watching all of the coverage. Like, I don't know a lot about sports, but I I love sports interviews, sports documentaries. I love all those things. So during the last couple of days with them being at the Super Bowl, I've been watching a lot of the interviews of the players, watching the press conferences, watching the media outlets that they choose to talk to, and looking at especially the same players, how they'll respond to one media outlet one way and then go have a conversation with somebody else that's of the Black, that's Black. And be like, okay, I'm more comfortable with you. So what I'm saying to you is a little bit different. So we can talk about it just a little bit afterwards, but I have been paying attention. So I don't think it was one of those things that it's just lost on everybody.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about Kendrick's song choice, I feel like overall, you can't claim to be a Black nationalist or for your people or the progression of the Black community or unity of the Black community, and you're given the stage and you do nothing with it. So, I mean,
this just looks so cool.
So cool.
I love his antics. I love the voices. I love the facial expression. Like, this is what we want. This is performance. But I wanted to touch on, like, we talked about the song selection, but I think even the verse selection of the songs that he chose to perform, it's like, there have been little things, and each one is like, if you listen to the words, pay attention. Even this one, have you ever walked your enemy down with a smile? Because us as Black people, like, we're taught to just smile and stay out the way. Just like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, at this point, I'm gonna walk you down. And this is for the overarching they. I'm going to walk the enemy down with a fucking smile on my face.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do this shit because I'm going to do what needs to be done, but I'm also going to get pleasure out of doing this, because you have gotten so far out of your fucking place. Y'all trying to keep us in our place? No, y'all are way past where you should be.
And y'all
now you're in enemy territory. And now I got to show you.
You want to cross that line?
Now I really got to fucking show you. You done fucked up and stepped out of line. Get back over there. And I think that's what it is. I think it's more of, we've talked about not really having artists who are kind of like in the 60s and 70s, having our Black performers really stand up and have a political voice, whereas it was very prominent in music, it's very prominent in sports, lanes that are Black lanes. We don't really have that anymore. So now, being that our generation, what's happening politically is our civil rights fight. So it's like, this is our moment. So we kind of need the same things. We need our Black athletes. We need our Black stars
to take a stand,
who have the power, to have the influence. Let's take a stand and say, this is where I'm at. I'm drawing a line in the sand. You either with us or you against us.
And honestly, I can be honest and say that I at times have been somebody, it's like, dang, why we always, not we, but like as people, Black people, why do we always have to defend ourselves and make everything Black? And it's like, no, I'm going to be clear in making everything Black, okay? Because y'all are choosing to try to erase that.
Too much. Yes, the erasure is just like no.
Yes, everything has to be very much so niggerish.
Yeah, it's like the loud disrespect that y'all got. No, I'm going to be very loud and correcting you and letting you know, nah, you trying to get rid of us. You don't exist without us.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the hardest thing to like accept, because it's like we as Black people, we don't even give a fuck about what y'all got going on.
Exactly. But they're very obsessed with everything that we're doing. And I just feel like this is
we
more
not doing nothing to nobody. Okay. Like, yes, we have our own issues within the Black community, but overall, we are concerned with us and what we have going on. We don't be on white Twitter. We don't be on, I can't tell you. Like,
I can't tell you what's going on over there. I don't know. I don't know what y'all got going on. And I fucking don't care.
I don't care.
It's just like,
I'm not even saying like, oh, I want to be segregated. It's just like, I have enough to deal with over here. I have enough entertainment over here that I don't really care about what y'all got going on. I don't mind spilling into over there, but it's like, listen, we can coexist. But if you want to be separate, I'm going to choose mine all the time. And that's just it.
Every time. I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's all. You don't hear them cheers and them sounds. That ain't Idaho. Fuck you, Ag.
Everybody having different hairstyles. Like it just, that jacket is fire.
So fire. Okay. So even
that is well, very, 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 very intentional. It's just like, oh, culture cheat code. You had to go and get your friends to come over here and do this shit. Okay. You have a cheat code. Okay. If you took that away, now what?
What is the cheat code?
Us.
Okay. And
but I think even outside of Drake, again, it's the same messaging. It's just like y'all have to go and team up with all of these other people to try to for all of y'all to stand on us to make yourself look big. No.
But even I think another meaning of it, and which made me think about this when he said deduct one life, it to me, that part of it kind of twisted my thought process, because I'm like, okay, maybe he's saying if we go get our homeboys and our homegirls, we're better together. That's the cheat code to Black culture and Black America. When we're actually unified and have one thought process and mindset and one common goal, that's a cheat code. We're better together. But the minute we start doing that, they do something to tragically affect the Black community and the overall goal of what we are people and the growth and what we're doing. So deduct one life was like, all right, y'all niggas is catching on to y'all coming together. I gotta take something from y'all.
We're gonna take something away.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Another nerdy thing that I have to add. Sorry. So they have 6 minutes to set up this whole stage and get all the props and all the things on the field without fucking up the field. Normally, we get a very basic stage or set design. This is so intricate, and I'm just like, oh my God, how did y'all do that without fucking up the turf? Like, it just looks so cool. Like,
practice. Like, I will say that the production of the NFL, and it's gonna be right. So I do love that. And it's also like, I love when artists get very creative. Like a football field is huge. So to take up that much space in a very short amount of time, get it all set up. I mean, granted, we can't see at home all of the moving parts. The people watching in the actual setting can see the moving parts, can see things getting set up. You can see people actively moving stuff. The cameras in real time, you can see all of that. So we don't see it, so we get a little bit different of experience. But I love just that the whole thing was a game controller. Like it was very intentional to even think about, okay, when I'm putting this show together, what is it that I'm trying to do? And know that all of these little pieces fall together. Like I'd be very intrigued by, I think as many times as we bring up Beyonce, oh my God, like we know that her brain, how she pretty much puts all of it together. I would be very interested to know, like artists like Kendrick, who are as well very artistic, like who helps them? Is it something that this is his brainchild? Like, okay, I thought of, this is how I want this whole thing to go. Or does he have more of a team? It's like, okay, this is the message that I'm trying to get to. Y'all help me put this together. I would love to know what his process is.
In his interview with Ebro, I'm going to go back and listen to it, but he did make mention that this was his brainchild and he picked his people that he typically would work with or whatever to put this together. He didn't use the team that I guess that they would normally say, hey, this is the team that will help you bring your vision to life. He used his home team to do this. So
yeah, and I think that's you probably need when you're trying to do something of this scale, and for it to everything to kind of fall in place, you need to have very specific people who understand you, who understand the way that you think, to be able to do that. But I would love to see, like, if he put out more, I guess, like more documentary style or did longer interviews, because he doesn't really do a lot of interviews either, but give more kind of background and kind of let people into what his process is, how he thinks about things. Even when I watched his interview with, well, it wasn't really his interview, conversation with Timothy Chalamet, like when they were talking, just like him even saying, as far as like when he's not active, if he's not putting out a album, that I actively rap. It's like I keep the muscle fresh all the time. So that way when if I take a break and I haven't put out an album in 3 years and I come back and put one out, that this is, I don't got to get re-warmed up or retrain my body to do this. I do this on a regular fucking basis. I don't got to put shit out, but I just go in there and I'll give 16, I'm done. Just to keep my, to keep my mind fresh and be able to quickly adapt and do things. So I think that that's great. And I think I will be interested to see more of that more style of Kendrick, to be able to kind of, what's your process? Like, how do you really put all of this shit together? Especially as a rapper, because a lot of times rappers they're not the best performers.
Yeah. And they're not as theatrical.
Yeah. So it's just like, to be a rapper and a very lyrical rapper, and to still be able to produce this kind of outcome, I think it's actually really good and cool. I think it's real cool.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that this is his voice,
right?
Yeah, that song.
Look at the eyes. The hand on the hip is so funny.
If you bet on the player to score the first touch, second,
count your
you get your money
days.
back.
I'm not getting YouTube Premium. Leave me alone. I have a thought. Okay. So some of the critique for SZA was that people thought that she was lip singing. I don't think she was lip. What you think?
For everybody black.
Okay, period. Also, this is not supposed to be critique time, but I will say that I watched her interview before the performance as well, and she did kind of say how like she didn't prepare in the way that she was supposed to. She looks great. She sounds great. I just feel like to get this opportunity to be on this type of stage and be not as prepared as you should have been is kind of like, SZA, I'm always rooting for you, but why are you like, I don't know. I would have liked to see more choreography in that portion right there. Like, I just would have liked to see her do a little bit more. Like, I don't know. But
no, I mean, I agree. Like, even when she was doing the promo for One of Them Days, like, she's been very active in the promo. So when they announced that she was going to be a part of the Super Bowl show, I was just like, how is she actually going to do that, being that she's basically on a press tour and doing all those things? I think it's very rare. I always pay attention to like what artists are doing at the time around when they're supposed to have like a big moment, because that really, like you said, it goes to, and it speaks to your preparation or really understanding what this moment means. And I think when you fail to prepare, that just shows that you really don't understand the magnitude of this moment. It's not just, this is the biggest look career-wise you will ever get. You will never have as many eyes on you as you will performing on the Super Bowl. And those are things that I feel like put you in a different category. And I feel like for the trajectory, and always where, I think when you hear SZA do interviews as to where she says that she sees herself and how she doesn't see herself, basically as like a very successful artist, it's just like you had your moment to make that happen, to establish that for yourself, and you kind of fumbled the bag by not being prepared.
And not only that, I feel like with SZA specifically, an artist like her, like, you care so much about the art and expressing yourself and all these different things, which I love. That's why we get the good music that we get and all of the things. But there has to be a point where the business mindset clicks in and says, yeah, this is great. I'm living my dreams by making this music, but like, how can I make this, like, how am I going to be the next Beyonce? Not Beyonce, but you know what I'm saying? Like the business. And I think that's why people like Kendrick or Beyonce or some of these greats, right, are so important, because they care so much about the art form, but they're tapped in when it comes to that business portion. And I feel like somebody like SZA, yes, she's super mainstream, but I feel like performance wise and career wise, there's so many things that I could see her doing that would make so much more sense as far as growth. But it's like, it's almost like, bitch, are you taking this serious? Like,
no, you know who I like in SZA too? Because SZA has she's a big cult following. SZA has a cult following, but you know who also has a following like that? The fucking Weeknd. If you look at like the Weeknd that we were introduced to, who he is now is completely different. The music's still good, but it's not House of Balloons. It's not what we know the Weeknd to be. But he was able to take that, like, small artists, like as you start to gain traction and build a cult following, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this more mainstream so that I can be a stadium artist. I can do all of these things. No, I guarantee you, nobody thought, I damn sure didn't think Wicked Games Weekend was going to be what he is right now. Right. You could not have told me. And I would not have believed it, that he would be as big of an act as he is right now. And I feel like SZA could be the female equivalent to the Weeknd. Yeah. She kind of saw that in herself. And I don't know if that's a part of it, is maybe in her mind, she just has herself pigeonholed and doesn't really realize that you're SZA. If you really wanted to, if you put music out a little bit more frequently, which granted, I know things at TDE kind of prevent that just from the way in which they operate, but you could be so much more. You could do so much more. And I wonder if some of that is why she's not able to release music the way that she wants to. It's like, okay, you're doing that, but you also, there's a key component that you're missing here.
The reason why I feel like that could be true, but I also feel like it's her, is because in the interview, she said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, I'll put music out, but then I go and live life and I do this and I do that. And then boom, I realize I haven't done anything. I've been quiet. So then I put something out. It's like, huh?
It seems like there's no foresight. There's like, if you are going to, what SOS should have been, like the anticipation, I feel like that could have been way better. It still was successful because it was a great album. Yeah. But I think how it should have been done, I think she should have took her off time to really plan foresight, not just the music. This is a production. And I think you have to look at yourself. I am a production.
And that's what I'm saying. The business part has to.
And I don't think that she sees that part, and it kind of reads that way when she does things, or she goes on tour, and it's like, you ain't been on tour in how long? You wasn't ready for the tour, like having to cancel all of these shows because your voice and all this thing. So you've been taking all this time and you haven't been taking care of yourself. That shows that you're not ready for the next level.
Right.
And I think that this as well, no, you should be singing live. Like, shut all the naysayers down about all the things that are said about you. And sometimes your stage presence and voice, your live voice, has been criticized. So this was your opportunity to have your shit in order and shut all that shit up. And I just feel like her part fell short. It left something to be desired. It's like, what is it? Like, you sung the songs. The track was good. Yeah. I think she went in the studio and recorded that. I don't think she got up there on that microphone. And that was a lip sync. Yeah. But it's just like, SZA.
Yeah. And I
wanted some more. Come on.
And based off of the post that she made this morning or last night, whatever, she basically said that like Kendrick was very accommodating and understanding and worked with her, which shows me he probably wanted more from this.
He wanted more from her.
But she couldn't, for whatever reason, deliver.
Give that. Yes.
Yeah. So
and that kind of takes away from it. And overall, it looked great.
Yeah, overall, she looks great. Everything is great. But I'm hoping that as far as SZA as an artist, I hope that her going on tour with Kendrick and everything
gives her some kind of like a kick in the ass to be like, all right, This is what it takes to do this at a stadium level, to even be on the cusp of being an artist who can do a stadium.
Because I think if she got her shit, not got her shit together, but if she elevated
she got her shit together, if she got her shit together, she could be one of the few artists who can do a stadium tour. And she could do it by herself if she got her shit together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're on the same page.
Just so clean. Not a person out of place.
There we go.
Well, he was gonna finish it. It's just, he said it's bigger than the music. And I think being that Cheeto Dust was in attendance, it is very much you have to see this black shit, all your DEI, mister. This is the shit on the biggest stage in the fucking world. You're gonna see this. This is more than just entertainment. They're rigging the game, and we're not here for that shit no more.
Like, we see what you're doing.
And I think that it's a call out. It's like, I see what you're doing, plain as fucking day. You're trying your best to think that this shit is going to go the way that it always has, but no more.
Yeah,
no more.
Yeah, like this, obviously a lot of the messaging goes to Drake too, because how Drake has been operating in the recent years allows him to be a part of the system. But it's not just about the Drake beef. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, loved it. Can't fake influence.
The people on top of the light poles.
Yeah.
People say your name, niggas. Yeah, sorry, really quick.
Like, listen to how loud that fucking crowd is.
Listen to that crowd. Also, two things. I love how, yes, certain words and things had to be edited out, but the production and his delivery, you don't miss it. You don't miss it. Like, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of rappers in general, they can be so vulgar and so in your face with what they're saying that if they were to do a performance like this, it would be like
you couldn't. And that's a part of it. And that's why I feel like that people, in order to have these kinds of opportunities, those things need to be taken into consideration. Even certain songs, like, you can't get radio play. Put the song on the radio. You cannot clean this up enough for me to put this on. I can't put this on TV.
Yeah. And not only can you not clean it up enough, in your mind, think about what could go in place of that to make it more quote unquote family friendly. And it's like you can't, unfortunately.
You can't fucking do it. And I love that. Like, you still got the point. I didn't have to say the word pedophile, which is also like, pedophile is not you can say that word on national television. However, like he said, I know you like to sue. I can skip that word and you still got the fucking message. Even though I did not say the word, nobody is even tripping about the fact that I didn't say the word. You can't sue me because I didn't call you that on TV.
I guarantee
I didn't say that shit on, he's going to try. Yeah. I didn't say that shit on national TV, but I think that being that he was already suing UMG, I think that the NFL has already done their checks and balances. I think Fox has already done their checks and balances to be like, okay, no, y'all actually can't. You can't sue us for that, actually.
Actually. Also, moving on, do you see right here in the upper left corner that Palestine flag? Was that a fan running on stage, or was that a part of the performance? Did Kendrick did one of the dancers come to Kendrick like, yo, I really want to do this. I'm gonna act like I wasn't supposed to. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble, but can I do it? Like,
well, see, I don't know when it popped up there, or like how it was presented there.
Someone's holding it and running with it.
Oh, then I don't think a fan did not jump on stage. That shit ain't happening.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that is intentional. That was very much, I'm going to tell you, yes, you can do this. If they catch you, then they catch you. But that was very intentional. Nobody was there's too much security, especially with Cheeto Dust being in attendance. The NFL had to provide even more security just because of the fact that he was there. So that wasn't going to happen.
And even Cardi confirmed that. She said even getting in the stadium, like, they was acting crazy because Cheeto Dust was there.
I'm going to just say this, that nothing is about government waste. The cost of him coming was $20 million.
For the CIA security or what?
Yes. So that they have to have security, the overtime and police present, because when a president comes, you have to be able to effectively shut down the street. So you need all police presence on deck. Just operating Air Force One in itself, I think, costs $4 to $5 million just to operate that. So him flying from DC to here on Air Force One, just that alone. costs money. All of the additional security that the city now had to provide, because you got to be able to shut that down. You got to be able to shut the highway down when they're traveling, for all of the motorcade and all the hoopla that goes along with how the president has to travel. For the Superdome, their regular security, that all has to be now upgraded. So they had to put in more metal detectors, have more security at the games, like checking people, bag checks, everything. Total cost just for him to come there was cost American taxpayers about $20 million. And that's why it's such a big deal. Like, why is a sitting president here? Like, it just makes it it's a big fucking thing. Now to have this, because there's so much more that has to be done on top of what we already have to pay to do. Granted, it's different when if the NFL is paying. This is our stadium. These are our standards. These are our security protocols. We're good with this. We have these metal detectors on a regular day. But now this man wants to fucking come, and now we got to scrounge together. We got to pay all of these people overtime. We got to do mad shit within a short period of time to make it safe for him to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, why is him going there? Is it a big deal because he's trying to intimidate and say, yeah, I'm here? Or is it a big deal? Like, why is it a big
deal? Because Trump wants to be a celebrity. He doesn't necessarily want to be the president. He wants to be a celebrity. He went there in support of the Chiefs, and we know why. With their quarterback and his wife. So that it was very purposeful. It was very intentional of him being there. Yeah. And it's more of kind of like a dictator leadership kind of thing. Like, hey, I'm here. I am allowing y'all to have this fun. Meanwhile, I'm actively tearing all this shit down. I'm actively about to continuously put y'all lives at risk. I don't care about the money that's being spent. I don't care about how it gets paid. All of y'all little people in here are the people that's paying for it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a big deal. And it's just like, ugh. And a lot of the players wasn't really fucking with that shit either. With him, I noticed. As much as they didn't get on certain news networks and say, oh yeah, they were kind of just like, I mean, he can kind of do what he wants to do. But on the back end, because even Don Lemon was saying, he was like, no, when I'm having like non-recorded conversations, he was like, yeah, on camera, people are kind of just like hesitant to ask the question. So it's like, they're like, he can do what he wants. But he was like, I'm having conversations with them outside. He's just like, we don't fuck with that shit. We don't like it. It doesn't make sense. We don't fucking want him here. This is just taking away from it. Like, they were not happy.
Yeah.
But they were kind of just like, the powers that be, the sponsors, the owners, like, we can't get up here and say that.
Of course. They have to play their part too, which is like,
and that's basically what a lot of them were saying. It's just like, we kind of got to play the game too, unfortunately, so we really can't give you our honest opinion of what we doing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And okay, Serena. First of all, my girl looked good, because I've critiqued my girl a couple times about the makeup with the hair, but my sister, she looked good. The crip walk was crip walking. She had on the all blue, big Compton, But I also find it funny because it's like, okay, you want to call me a woman beater and you say that I don't protect Black women? Let me put on the Black woman that you just publicly disrespect her husband, and her family. And I'm saying, no, she is culture. She's put on for the Black community plenty of times. Go ahead.
Like, she has a place. You do not.
Exactly. She belongs here. And she going, yeah.
Crip walking all over your grave.
All over it. Having a grand time.
And I love that. And I love that she came out there and did that, because Serena Williams, the Williams sisters, are also another prominent Black figures that have been very outspoken about the injustices of Black people. She has crip walked after winning Wimbledon, and the whites was mad that she did that. So her coming against, like, she understands what it means for her to do that, and she did it on purpose. Like, all of this is very purposeful. It's just like the amount of times that she has been scrutinized for being the best tennis player in the fucking world. How many times she constantly gets beat down, even in her sport, where we are far less we are far underrepresented, that she's gotten up there multiple times and she takes all of the lashings for Black women in tennis. Publicly, all of the fucking time. When she was pregnant and didn't know that she was pregnant and was whooping bitches ass in tennis, pregnant, like, oh, you're using trying to have people to change the rules, like, oh, this is like taking sports enhancement because she's pregnant. Like, and she still came up there and won.
How's that an enhancement? If anything, that lowers my
it's just
like what?
I love that, and I love just constantly showing that all of the prominent Black figures, from her with the beads, all of the different things that they have had to go through as Black women in sports.
It's like, yeah,
it's consistently having to take the public disrespect, and now it's just like, nah, again, no more of that.
Yeah. And also, like, not to get too much into Serena and her family, but I also love how, okay, people make their critiques about her being married to a white man and having kids with a white man, but I feel like that white man has even done things for our community as well. Him stepping down from his position so that a person of color, or a Black person specifically, could have his seat as the president of, I can't remember what company it was, even doing things like that, and the millions of dollars that they give back into small businesses each year, that's not talked about. Like,
it's like those are the people that billionaire or that are ultra wealthy and do it right.
Exactly.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're putting you in this, we're giving you this opportunity, but sometimes it doesn't have to be as loud. Sometimes it's like, I put my money where my mouth is. If I say I stand for Black people, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do things to further help my people. I don't always have to put this in the mainstream because it's not about me. If you really believe in a cause and this is, you know, you standing firm in what you believe in, you're going to do it no matter who is looking at you, who is applauding or not. You're just going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And look, there's that Palestine flag again right there.
Yeah, so, and it's back and it's lit, so it's on purpose.
Yeah. Look at Kendrick. That's T. Yeah. We saw him at what show was it? It was like Soundstage or something, right? And we're like on the stage or something. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh my God. He's come a long way.
Like, exactly. And that's why I love it so much. I just be like, y'all, I'm like, what year did y'all go to college? Because y'all colleges was sponsored by Mustard. Okay.
Like,
College Party really Experience sponsored by DJ fucking Mustard. So yeah, I am like very, 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 very happy for him. I love it.
Yeah. Now, what was that other flag? Did you see it? That right there. What is that? Game over. Yeah.
It's a wrap, buddy.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap for you hoes. I feel like at this point, if that doesn't excite you and make you feel proud as a Black person,
I don't know what will.
I don't know what y'all niggas need. Like, I really don't know.
It was just beautiful to watch. It was very,
very, very prideful.
Yeah. And I really, 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 really love that. It's just like it did what it needed to do. And I think that it's one of those things that is going to have a lasting impression. Yeah, like, sure. Like we said, it could have been in an entirely different show, but I think it was too big of a moment to do anything different.
I don't know. I was thoroughly entertained. But and the people, especially Black people who are like, I was not entertained.
Yeah, I think because people look at Super Bowl and it's like, oh, it's a party. Like, I don't want to have to like use my brain. I want to just sit here and drink and listen to a good artist and have a good performance and show. But like I said, the last Super Bowls that we've had, the cultural environment has been different. So, and we've had artists that are getting up there to kind of do their legacy act. Like, I'm here to dance and sing and surmise my career, because most times getting to do the Super Bowl is like, you have to be at the pinnacle, top of the top of your career to be able to do this. To have it kind of not be that way, it's like, I ain't done here. So I can give you something different. And yeah, you got to think about this. You got to think. You got to use your brain. And I feel like anybody who didn't really like it, it just went over their heads. That's what it was. At the end of the day, it just went over your head. Like, watch it again on a sober Monday and then say then give us your opinion of it. But I loved it.
Yeah. And I feel like overall, you can't be an ally, or you can't be for Black advancement or growth within the Black community if you're choosing to not listen or see the message that we're supposed to be getting from these artists like a Kendrick or a Beyonce or even Jay-Z, because technically he's not really an artist right now, but the people that he chooses to prop up and put, he's doing the background work.
He's doing the back end work to be like, okay, I'm putting these people in place. And I don't like the critique of like people like, oh, Jay-Z was condemning the Super Bowl and then he started working with them, because a lot of times you can't make no change if you have to be on the inside in order to make the change.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because we're actively witnessing that right now. All this like DEI and companies just easily able to say, oh, actually, we're going to roll that back, because they really didn't give a fuck about it in the first place. If you had a person who really gave a fuck about it on the inside, it wouldn't be that easy to just say, actually, we're going to pull back from that. We're going to back out. We can't do that. So having a prominent Black figure who is very clear about where he stands, especially when it comes to our people, I'm going to do the work on the back end to put y'all in the place that y'all need to be able to get your message out.
Exactly. And that's the important part. It's like, if you are going to be a Black person or a person of color that has a seat at these tables, you have to be ready and willing to actually have a voice. There's no point for you to be there if you're not gonna do the work. You're not helping anybody other than just saying I have a seat. Like, okay, cool. Like, no. Let people who are ready to be vocal and want to do the work to have the opportunity to do so.
And I think that it's still is trying to, I guess, bring people together as a collective, because even this weekend, like I said, I've been watching pretty much all the coverage, and it's still, as much as I feel like we have people that are, I hate to use the term woke, but actually educated and actually paying attention and knows what's going on and how it is detrimental to not only just the entire collective of America as a whole and how this country effectively runs, but how that the rhetoric and the messages that are being pushed by the other side, by the government, by the people in the highest office and all of their rich friends, it's like, you have to pay attention. Like, y'all need to wake up and pay attention, because there's still people actively running around, Black people doing the exact opposite. Like, you're so going against where we should be going. Like, even the rappers, like during Super Bowl weekend, like Trump Jr. was like at a party, and like Black people going up to him like, oh, that's Trump Jr. And like, why are you celebrating this? Like, you're part of the problem.
Like, why are you fanning out over this man?
Why are you fanning out over someone who don't fuck with you, that literally would call you a nigger with a hard ER to your face? DEI, that is the new way of calling you a nigger. And y'all is foaming at the mouth. Make it make fucking sense. And I was telling Colin this, I think I usually am not one of those people that really care about things politically. Like, yeah, you can have, a lot of people tend to fall more conservative than they would like to believe. But I think in this environment, it's very different, because it is cut and dry. It is, you are here or you are here. There's no gray area. There's no middle ground. There's no room really for understanding, because it's just like, you either support it or you are against it. There's no in between. And I think that's why that this performance is so important. We could sing and dance next year if this opportunity comes up next year. Because we don't know what the hell is going to happen. Every day is some more chaotic bullshit, and not the good kind of chaos. It is just so fucking much going on that it's like, while the opportunity is here, you have to seize it. You could sing and dance later.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this was definitely a political performance. I would say that even Beyonce's Super Bowl performance was heavily political.
It was heavily political.
Yeah.
Every little thing is like, the dancers wearing all white, very political. The American flag being covered up, very political. Riding in on a horse, very political. All of these things, just like, she has a whiskey company, a Black woman.
Yeah.
Like, these things are very intentional and they're on purpose. And I think that they understand that this is the time. It's right now. We could do all this other shit later.
Or at the same time.
I can do both. I can entertain you, but I'm going to make you think about what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And how it makes sense, and how it's relevant. And now what you gonna do about it?
I agree. Moving on to Drake commentary quickly. Do you feel like Drake comes back from this? Because I feel like, right, for me, I'm not a Drake hater, but I am not a Drake stan either. I like the singy type of Drake, the melodic type of Drake.
Mm-hmm.
This new wannabe hoodlum, that's not for me. And I've told you that even before this beef. It's been how many years since I'm like, yeah, I don't like what Drake got going on. I like the singy Drake. I like the melodic Drake.
Yeah. I feel like you stopped really kind of like fucking with it at COB because we had lots of conversations about that because what COB was pitched to be and then what it became and what it was actually put out was not what anybody fucking wanted. We wanted Take Care. We wanted Take Care too. That's what we were expecting to get. I wanted Take Care too. And when you gave it to us, like, what the fuck is this?
This is not what I asked for.
It's not what we asked for. It didn't match the cover. It did, like, there were so many things. You running around with a heart shaved in your head for over a year. It did not match how you marketed it, and then what you gave, it just fell flat. You missed the mark. You missed the message.
And Drake, I feel like if he focused more on the art and producing good music, not saying his music is bad, I'm just saying if he worried more so about what his lane and what he got going on, opposed to beefing with niggas that he don't even need to be beefing with or competing with people that he doesn't even need to compete with, things will be so much better. Even him releasing that dance album, which I personally liked, but to know that you did that after working with Beyonce, it was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna put this ahead of you so it can make it seem like I'm leading the new wave of music and you're copying off me. That's what it gave to me. And it's like, no, it's just the way he moves, it just gives very like shisty. I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. And
I think that's what pretty much, even in this whole beef, like all of the other artists coming out, it's basically the same thing. It's just like, why you had to why you always like, why is stabbing somebody in the back your MO in multiple different areas? When it comes to just like your relationships with other people's girlfriends and stuff like that, like you seek out to do this. It's like you seek out to step on everybody's shit, no matter what. Like you operate with reckless abandon, no regard for any fucking body, and you feel like you could just do and say what you want.
Yeah.
Until you come up against a person that's like, no. And I think nobody really came up against Drake because he was arguably the biggest artist.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily just rapper, one of the biggest artists. So it's like, if I'm at the peak, y'all little niggas can't tell me shit. I'm coming to stomp on everybody's shit. I'm coming to bite your shit.
Right. I can have your music.
I'm coming to bite your shit.
I could, whatever I want.
And I'm going to incorporate it in mine. And nobody's going to be none the fucking wiser. I'm going to get all of the credit for it. You're going to get nothing. And I think that it's kind of been a thing that has been consistent since very, very, very early in his career. Even when he did Nothing Was the Same, going into Take Care, previous interviews when he was talking about where he got his inspiration for those albums from, he was mentioning fucking G Herbo. So imagine when Nothing Was the Same came out. Nobody fucking knew who G Herbo was. But for artists like Drake, it's like, you are the mainstream artist. You are the guy. Yes, at that point, Drake was still earlier in his career, but he was creeping up there very, very quickly. G Herbo?
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. And then to just see, like, stylistically, it's like, if you really pay attention to the sounds, it was like, oh, you went and got their sound and took it and made it your shit. And it was just like...
And okay, sure, you might have given them a feature, but when you do a feature, that becomes your song. You really stomp all over the shit. Like, nobody remembers half the time when the artist is being featured on their own song at that point. Like, it's...
Yeah, and it's like,
it's crazy.
And I will say, like, I mean, it's everybody ate. Everybody benefited from you. You're crazy to say that artists didn't benefit from having Drake on their song. It did. Oh, yeah, it would do something for them. It wouldn't do anything lasting. But it was a matter of, I can get you in the door. I can get you into different realms. Like, oh, because I'm on it, pop radio is going to want to pick it up because I'm on it. So yeah, it benefited from a lot of artists by being next to Drake. And of course, if you're a new artist, and Drake says he's gonna get on your song, obviously you want to do it because you need the look, you need the attention.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like when somebody gives you the look, but also they bitch your shit at the same time, and then took it and now it's running around making it like it's theirs. It's like,
what the fuck on
what's
now?
going on? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I don't fuck with you. Yes, it benefited me, but I don't fuck with you just because you did that. Okay, you did a song for me, you charged me, or you didn't charge me. For a lot of people, he don't charge. So it's like, yeah, now you kind of, it's more of like, now you owe me a favor. So when I take your shit, you can't really say nothing because I helped you.
You owe me a favor, or you owe me loyalty.
Or yes. And it's just like, it shouldn't work that way. If you can't give it back, I'm not giving it to you.
I feel like aside from Kendrick's performance, because I think Game Over obviously could be towards Drake as well as the country, but I think Game Over is just like, listen, I won the battle. Let's move on. The game is over. If you want to keep playing, we can play.
Yes, the game is over. But there's no second chances. There's no redo. It's no act 2. It's done.
And I'm not saying that I think Drake is done, because like I said, I think this album he's about to put out with Party Next Door, if he give us the girly stuff in a respectful manner, I don't want to hear you dissing Serena or none of your other exes. Talk about the bitches you fun with now. I don't know. But give us the girly stuff and we can be perfectly fine. I personally don't want to hear Drake talking about no gangster hoodlum shit. I just don't.
Yeah.
I never did. But now I really don't. Like, I just don't. Yeah. And I feel like that's how Drake comes back.
You're going to have to change. You got to switch course. It's no longer going to work. You got to change your game plan and now do and produce something different. Yeah, I think he can come back from that. I think it'll be over time, but attention spans are very short. So Not Like Us was able to span a whole year, which is crazy that this lasted an entire year.
So crazy.
But I think that this was the perfect, like, this is the final round. It's done. There's no more to say about this. Like, at this point, we just beating a dead body. Like,
literally,
it's done. We can't get higher than this. No more. So now go and do something else. And I don't think it was a matter of saying like, oh, you can't be in hip hop. It's just like, if you're going to be it, just be you, nigga.
Be respectful.
Be you, or make sure you give credit where credit is fucking due. Don't try to take shit from other people and make it yours, because that's some colonization shit to do. This is the same message for white people. You can be an ally, you can be down for us, but what you're not going to do is continue to take from us and play in our fucking face and then try to sell it back to us as if we owe you something.
Literally.
And that's kind of what what the overarching message is. This is our shit. We're making it be known that this is our shit, and you're not about to keep trying to steal it and rent it back to us, and then change the rules or move the goalposts.
Yeah, I don't know. Last thing I'll say is, all of you grown men out there that are deriding, glazing Drake, and downplaying Kendrick, I hope you get no bitches for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
if you're married, I hope your wife withholds coochie or something, because you don't deserve it. I just don't want to go hop on Drake, because y'all are so weird. I don't understand men specifically, okay, that are so pro Drake, that they literally will go to the pits of hell to say how terrible Kendrick is in the performances.
And it's just like, I just don't, I don't see that, because I'm like, did we watch the same fucking thing? Like, you could not have watched that. And again, the people who got the message I feel like have very different opinions, very different reactions to it. I think there are a subset of people who choose to not get it because those are the Drake loyalists and can't like separate the two. Like, you can still like both. You can be a Kendrick fan and you can be a Drake fan. You can really do both.
It's not that deep.
Like, you can do both. You ain't gotta say, oh, that was trash. Oh, that was this. No, Kendrick is actually a very good rapper, a very good performer, a better performer than Drake.
Oh yeah, I mean,
this shit was great. I think that they are two completely different artists in two different lanes, and you can really like both. And I really think if you went through Kendrick's discography, you'd be like, oh yeah, I actually fuck with more Kendrick songs than I would like to admit.
Oh, Lil Wayne comments, New Orleans comments, whatever, I just feel like put it to bed. Because
Lil Wayne was not going to come up there and give y'all shit. Like, let me tell you, he can barely put a fucking sentence together. He was not going to go out there and do a motherfucking thing. So please stop with the bullshit. His opportunity is over. Maybe another time, if he really wants to do the Super Bowl, then I feel like then he should do this thing the same way that we're critiquing SZA. Like, you need to come and really fix yourself. Go get your shit together to actually be able to do something like this. Lil Wayne can do the exact same thing, even though you're 25, however many years into your career. When it comes to performance-wise, you do not have that, especially not present day. Yeah. Go work on that shit and get that shit together. If you really want to do Super Bowl, then there'll be another opportunity. But right now, what needed to be done?
I definitely think Wayne can do it. I just think that he needs to get back. I think he needs to get back in the field. And that doesn't necessarily mean, come out with new music. That just means like performance-wise, like how are you looking performance-wise, health-wise? Like there's so many factors that go into that.
The words like to your style. That whole like, I don't know none of the words. Nigga, learn the fucking words. Like if you're gonna put together a performance, again, another artist, how are you going to now take these songs and make them TV ready?
Yeah.
Super Bowl ready. That is a different thing. And I don't want to see him get up there and just sound like a fucking gremlin. I don't want to hear that shit. I have seen Lil Wayne before, so I know he's capable of putting on a good show. But when I saw him, it was when he had his dreads attached to his head. Like people want to act like he's not on a decline. He is on a decline. Like you cannot string a sentence together, let alone get out there and actually perform. You need breath control to be able to be on a football field. A football field is huge. You've got to be able to move around, produce a performance. And we need a production. And I ain't never seen Lil Wayne have no fucking production.
Oh, hell no. Not no BET performance, not a Grammy performance, not even a concert. He just get on stage. Whatever.
Like this is a production. This is not the small leagues. Not to say that he's not a major league artist or legacy act at this point because he's not active. But and he's not a good performer. I would not put them in the same sentence and be like, yes, I want to watch this for 16 minutes. I fucking don't.
Yeah. And even people saying like, oh, we wish Kendrick would have brought out Big Frida or the Hot Boys or this person, that person. I understand
Big Frida had her moment during the pre-show, which was great. If y'all paid attention and y'all watched that, it wasn't people from New Orleans artists, New Orleans culture wasn't just passed away.
Yeah. The culture definitely was included, even in the beginning of the game when the Dancing Dolls, it was Dancing Dolls, right? Yeah, they came out and did they 1, 2, the second line or whatever they came out and did. I just feel like, y'all, just because it was in New Orleans doesn't mean we have to be no out for the halftime performance. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be all right. Kendrick said we gonna be all right. And we will let it go. Yeah. Let it go. So, yes, hope you guys enjoyed our
a special episode.
Our special episode. This will be a YouTube exclusive for now. I guess we can put it on streaming later.
But for the most part, well, no, because I feel like you need to visually be able to see what we're talking about. So this is a YouTube only thing. So subscribe to our YouTube if you're not. If you want to see it,
we'll be over there. We'll be back to regular scheduled episodes on Wednesday.
Yep.
So we see y'all in a couple days.
Okay. Period.
All right. Bye.